the trumpet will sound, the skies unfold. A bride made ready, her story foretold. With robes of white, we rise unafraid, for in a moment the grave stain will fade. We fly soon on wings of faith, to where the storm becomes his race. No tears remain, no night, no pain, forever in his arms we'll stay. The dead in Christ shall awaken first, then we who remain quench every thirst. Together we'll soar, his glory our guide, drawn by his love, we'll dwell at his side. We fly soon on wings of faith, to where the storm becomes his race. No tears remain, no night, no pain, forever in his arms we'll stay. Rejoice, the Lamb has prepared the way, the marriage feast of eternal day. With shouts of come and harps resound, in twinkling eyes we're heavenward bound. We fly soon on wings of faith, to where the storm becomes his race. No tears remain, no night, no pain, forever in his arms we'll stay. Rejoice, the Lamb has prepared the way, the marriage feast of eternal day. With shouts of come and harps resound, in twinkling eyes we're heavenward bound. We fly soon on wings of faith, to where the storm becomes his grace. No tears remain, no night, no pain, forever in his arms we'll stay.
Hello,
Hey.
hello.
Hey sis, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a minute since we've been on, but glad to be back.
Yes. So we are going to talk about lots of things tonight. It's all about AI. AI, AI, AI.
Yep, because AI is, the topic that is coming across our televisions, our phones, and it just happens to be everywhere at this moment. So might as well
Yeah.
get into it and talk about it and get into what has been going on. If you guys hear any background noise, it's my two dogs being locked in the bedroom because they'll want to jump on my computer. But anyway, I apologize
Yes.
for that.
And I know you're going to bring up stuff first, but that being said, I just wanted to kind of let people kind of understand a little bit of why we're even talking about this, because of Revelation 13.
Yes.
I just wanted to show the part why we're talking about this. And oh goodness.
Yeah, because there's always we are definitely living in times like no other. I mean,
Right.
really,
Well, let
if
me
you
just
look
read
at
it quick, and I'll let you start after you.
Yeah, go
I'm just
ahead.
going to read the part of that, and then I'll let you start. And I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
I do that often. I don't mean to. So Revelation 13:15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him have understanding. Count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is 666. Okay, sis.
Right,
That's
right.
all I wanted to know about what we were getting ready, why this is so important.
Oh yeah. Well, for one, like I said before, we're living in a time like no other time where AI is so prominent, and it's becoming even more prominent. It's all that has been speaking of really from the White House here lately. It's really getting deep, really getting deep. So in case you guys, we're going to talk about several things that's been in the mainstream news. And then some of the things that's not been in the mainstream news regarding these topics. So the first one is Genesis mission. A couple weeks ago, Trump came out and announced about this Genesis mission. Funny, the name already, Genesis, means, in the beginning. But anyway, so yeah, that was already weird enough. But I'm going to show you, we're going to go through, I have some videos that are short. None of them is over 5 minutes, but this one here goes with this whole topic of Genesis mission. And then Cheryl will, give whatever she's got on that. So bear with me here, and I will try to.
I love you so much. I'm so blessed to have you. I said, I just love you so much. I'm so blessed to have you.
Oh, I love you too, sis.
I honestly wouldn't know what to do without her, because she's like the brains of it all, and I'm just lucky. God chose me.
Okay, hold on.
To help, chose me to help me get it, because.
Okay, here we go. I got that. Now let me bring it to the stage. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you.
You're fine.
Okay, so this is, I'm going to stop it at the 5 minute mark. This guy on here, he's on YouTube as Hustle, but he also has an account on X, and it's Hustle B. I'm not going to say it, but anyway, and I'm going to show him several times because, and the only reason I like him is because he's talking about all this stuff. So it's really good. If you guys want to watch more of it, most of his videos are usually under 20 minutes, but I'm only going to show 5 minutes of it. So we'll go ahead and get into that.
All right.
A book called Genesis drops, a dystopian roadmap for AI, supposedly the final message of Henry Kissinger. 1 year later, the U.S. launches a program similar in scale to the Manhattan Project, and guess what they call it? Genesis Mission. It doesn't just share its name with the book, it also pretty much has the same objectives. But here's the weirdest part. Everyone is acting like this program doesn't even exist. Well, I'm going to pull back the curtain tonight, because they are literally playing God with AI using your money, and you deserve to know what they're planning. Now, I first came across this when Energy Secretary Chris Wright made that announcement a few days ago.
With this pen today, President Trump signed an historic mission. This is reminiscent of the Manhattan Project that brought World War II to an early and successful end, similar to the Apollo projects that put a man on the moon in 1969. This is an all-in national effort to take the power of AI and pair it with the 40,000 outstanding scientists and engineers at our national labs to use the world's largest supercomputers to advance innovation and science, to fix our rising energy costs, to give better economic opportunities for our citizens, to make longer and healthier lives possible. Today was not incremental, Brett. It was transformative.
At first, I thought he was just hyping things up, but I was wrong. If you actually read the executive order, the U.S. government really is gearing up to throw basically everything we've got into fast-tracking AI. And of course, the official story is the same as always. We have to do this to stay ahead of our enemies. You've heard that line a million times. And sure, maybe some people will even call this program reasonable, even though it's going to cost taxpayers billions of dollars. But here's where things became a little strange. You see, when you dig a little, you'll you'll realize where this whole idea seems to come from. The fingerprints don't look like they belong to the current administration. Instead, they point back to a guy who's been shaping global power for half a century, Henry Kissinger. The same guy who was involved in some of the most brutal wars of the 20th century, and the same guy who pushed the concept of a new world order.
For the first time in history, foreign policy has become global. Communications are instantaneous, and there exist problems which are genuinely not national, like environment, nuclear proliferation, and similar issues. So in this sense, we are living in a new world, and a new world order will emerge. The only question is whether it will arise out of intellectual and moral insight and by design, or whether it will be forced on mankind by a series of catastrophes.
He also mentored Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, and stayed close to the WEF basically until the end of his life.
Dr. Kissinger, our satellite time is running out. What wonderful opportunity to conclude our week here with such concrete proposals and ideas of how we can really create, I would say, a new world order.
And here's where it gets wacky. Around the time he was advising these global institutions, Kissinger suddenly started writing about artificial intelligence, like a lot. And he kept talking about this idea he called Genesis. In his 2021 book, The Age of AI, he wrote a whole chapter on Genesis. In it, he claimed AI would change how governments operate, how wars are fought, and even how humans understand themselves. This was already a little creepy, but his final book took it even further. He said AI could be the key to solving climate change, inequality, and global tensions. He said AI could push humans past our biological and intellectual limits, maybe even trigger a new form of evolution. And to make all of this happen, he said we need new global institutions for AI. And we need international cooperation to push this technology as fast as possible. Now, once again, if you just look at this, you might think, so what? We could use some innovation. Well, let me show you what they mean when they talk about pushing past the limit of the human body through evolution.
You see a path?
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. Basically, so that's a part of it that, I didn't even know, like Henry Kissinger and stuff like that. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stuff, but didn't know that part about it. Pretty weird, say the least, with the, the whole connection with the Genesis and the AI and his involvement with the World Economic Forum. So pretty interesting. If you guys want to watch the rest of the video, he goes into Elon Musk and some other stuff. So yeah.
I mean, honestly, everyone acts like that, because Trump said that, we're not doing all that. It's all connected, and it's still moving towards that same goal, even as we speak. Even as we speak.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the one I have real quick, and it's from a news source that I don't watch, but
yeah, and the Department of Energy, also put out like a 1-minute video, which I'm pretty sure you have, I think, somewhere, but that just basically it's introducing it, to everybody, what this Genesis mission is.
Right.
And a summed up, 1-minute video.
Let's see. Share this tab instead. Add to screen. Okay, is it up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Let me play it.
AI this, AI that. AI is pretty much everywhere today, and everybody knows that. But the one who's acting on it is President Trump, because now he wants America to be right at the front of this global AI race. And no, this
Can you turn it up, sis?
ChatGPT or Comet or Gemini. This time the plan is built the Project Manhattan way. fast, focused, and national in scale. Now, let me jog your memory a bit. The Manhattan Project was a wartime crash program that built the atomic bomb by pulling together the nation's best scientists, its secret laboratories, and its strongest industrial capability, all under one mission.
Background music.
Now, with President Donald Trump's latest executive order, Washington is stating very clearly that the next major global race in technology, security, and industry will run through AI.
This is low.
Is known as Project Genesis. Project Genesis directs
It's hard to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They got like music going on in the background of the same video. So it is kind of hard to hear. I don't know how to stop that.
Of energy to create a single national AI platform
I
that can
guess
speed up
that's
scientific
it off.
discovery across almost every strategic sector. The comparison to the Manhattan Project is intentional by the White House. Back then, the country pulled together scientists, labs, production sites, and classified research all under one mission. And that's pretty much what Project Genesis aims to do with AI. Now, here's what this involves. For the first time, America's most powerful supercomputers, secure cloud AI systems, robotic and automated labs, and decades of government scientific data will be connected through one unified platform. This platform is meant to do far more than just analyze information. It is meant to run experiments, test scientific ideas, simulate materials and energy systems, along with designing new technologies and automating entire research processes in areas like fusion, biotechnology, semiconductors, quantum science, and critical materials. In simpler terms, the government is trying to build a national AI engine and plug the entire federal scientific ecosystem into this. The timeline shows how urgent this effort is. The Energy Department has 60 days to identify at least 20 national challenges where AI could dramatically accelerate progress. It has 90 days to list every supercomputer, storage system, and high-speed network that can support this mission. And in 270 days, President Donald Trump's administration wants a real demonstration that this platform can produce results that traditional research cannot do. The stakes are pretty high. Global competitors, including China, are investing heavily in AI-driven science. Washington believes that falling behind in this race could weaken America's leadership in industries that shape military strength, economic power, and long-term technological influence. Basically, everything that makes America the superpower it is. Now, because of that, the order also sets strict security rules. Only approved partners such as national labs, universities, and selected companies will get access. Everyone must follow uniform cybersecurity classification, privacy, and export control standards. The government wants collaboration, but under tight protection of sensitive data and models, pretty much like any federal project. So the larger message from Washington is straightforward. The future of innovation will belong to those who can combine scientific infrastructure with advanced AI systems. And Project Genesis is an attempt to compress decades of scientific development into a few years and secure long-term national advantage. So this may seem like it's a minor policy, but it's not, because it's a major reorganization of the country's research engine around the artificial intelligence, and pretty much a clear sign of how seriously the United States is taking the global technology race. Let us know what you think in the comment section.
That was just a little bit of rundown of like how AI and technology is merging. You know, it's merging
And fast.
and fast. And you know, you can see you know, here is the actual Genesis mission on the White House. That, you know, it is on the White House, and I encourage you to go and look at it because it's got, you know, it's just so much stuff in here that, you know, every little thing you want to read because you never know what's hiding inside of it, you know.
Right.
But you can do that. But there is talking about the Henry, you know, it's just talking about everything that that we've been saying. But basically, it's, you know, like what Tanya said. Whoops. Sorry.
That's okay.
All right. That's all I really have. This mission. Besides, you know, Ricky.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it just basically what we just covered, you know, so.
Okay. So do you have that one on the Department of Energy? You know what video I'm talking about? That little minute video?
Let me look. I thought
If
that
not,
it
I
was.
can bring it up. I just thought it was really, it's only a minute, and I think it's really would be a good thing to show. You know what I'm saying? If not,
Actually,
I got
don't
it up.
right at. Go ahead and pull it up.
Okay.
I don't know where it is. Right at the top of my hand, like everything. I have
Okay.
certain numbers written down, but
That's fine. It's a minute and 32 seconds, but this is from the Department of Energy, and basically runs it down from their standpoint, and then we can move on.
I'm just gonna let the cat out real quick, but you can go and play it.
Yeah.
In every age, humanity invents new ways to see further. The telescope let us glimpse the stars. The microscope revealed the worlds within us. For centuries, thinkers like Leibniz, Shannon, and Turing dreamed of making all knowledge computable. But today, knowledge grows faster than our ability to understand it. Trillions of data points, a universe of information still unconnected. Now, a new instrument emerges. One capable not only of observing the universe, but of understanding it. Genesis mission will transform how science is done in America, uniting our brightest minds, most powerful computers, and vast scientific data into one living system for discovery. Built on artificial intelligence and quantum computing, it will radically redefine the scale, speed, and purpose of scientific progress in America. This is the work that will define our generation's legacy. A new revolution begins, one guided not by competition alone, but by curiosity, imagination, and the belief that discovery is the truest form of progress.
And there you go. I mean, so that's our short little video from the government saying how good.
I'm gonna show. Oh, never mind. We got an order that we're doing things in. What you showed me right before we got on here, I was like, "Whoa!"
What's
About that with the Department of War. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely get into that.
Right, you got that on the list
I'm
somewhere.
not quite sure how to help you with that.
Somehow Alexa decided to, snoop into my my conversation like she always does. Anyway, so I guess the next topic will be the basic pay. So this is that universal income for all that eventually, Agenda 2030, they want to have everybody on a basically, you get money from the government, they can control you, you do what they say, and you own nothing and be happy, right?
That's the one I can't find the clip on for me. I can't find that clip I have, but go ahead.
Okay, I do have one from Hustle again, just because, like I said, he does go over all this stuff. So, and since he has it, I'm going to go ahead and share his, if you don't mind. It's 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That was where I'm going to stop it at. So,
okay.
So if you guys want to bear with me here, and I'll get this on, and we'll go ahead and play this one.
You're not going to hear this on daytime television, but it's already happening. The U.S. just took a massive step toward Agenda 2030, and they're doing it in the quietest way possible. The key move? Universal basic income. Already, thousands of families have been selected to receive monthly government checks, and pretty soon, thousands more will be on the list. It sounds like help. It looks like relief, but what happens when your paycheck is replaced by a government allowance? What happens when your income depends on their rules and not your work? That's not support. That's control, and it's the first phase of a jobless America, where your freedom has a price tag and someone else is holding the receipt. Sounds insane, right? Well, stick around to the end of this video, and I'm going to prove all these claims with their own words. But before we dive into all of this, I need to show you a video that exploded on X.
And this is Tara. If people don't know, she's highly known on X and on TikTok. You guys should check her out. She's great.
A lot of people saw it, but most didn't want to believe what this woman was talking about.
Listen up. We've been telling y'all for years, and it's coming. Some New Yorkers are getting $12,000 in crypto in a Coinbase funded basic income style pilot program. Everyone needs to get their heads out of the sand. Since 2021, we've been saying this was coming. This has Agenda 2030 all over it. America's second largest county approves $500 monthly to residents in 2026. City of Boulder releases evaluation report for guaranteed income pilot project. 20 Howard County families will receive guaranteed basic income for 1 year with no strings attached. Lawmakers float a nationwide basic income experiment that would cover the cost of a 2-bedroom apartment. Not only that, but we're seeing the digital IDs take root in U.S. as states and federal agencies chart uncertain paths. Not only that, but Trump just came out with the Genesis mission, which will combine everything from AI to satellites. We have been talking about this patent forever. 060606, a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. You will wear a device that senses your body activity, and if you do what they tell you to do, you get paid in cryptocurrency. Trump is literally making the system right now. They're piloting basic income programs that are with cryptocurrency. This will all be connected with what? Your digital ID. They will be able to monitor everything you do in this system.
Well, turns out she wasn't lying. The Coinbase program she mentioned is very real, and it's basically a test run. They're giving people an $8,000 lump sum in crypto plus $800 a month for 5 months. And where are they testing it? Low-income communities like Harlem, because they want to see exactly how people react. And here's the kicker. Coinbase's CEO is a hardcore supporter of asset tokenization. So yeah, it's not just a crypto giveaway, it's a trial run for something much bigger.
We're a great partner of theirs on their ETF. Right. We're powering, I think, more than 80% of the ETFs for crypto in terms of custody and trading. Coinbase is well positioned to be the leader in just tokenization of every asset. I mean, we've done that with stablecoins. You can look at it happening now in various parts of the world with stocks.
Now, before we continue, here's a word from our sponsor.
Okay, so yeah, that was that one. And basically, like I said, that's what he was showing was Itty Bitty Tara too. You can find her on X and on TikTok. She's great. She always has great stuff to put out there. So yeah, as you can see, that part's unfolding, Agenda 2030, where you own nothing and be happy.
We were talking about this when we first got saved, because when we got saved, it happened quick. I mean, everything God put on us, Bible prophecy, and we went right to it. Yeah, and, we learned a lot that first year, and we heard about this, and we've been warning people about this. And my son, Jordan, he acts, he just don't pay attention, but I was talking about universal basic. He's like, yeah, I heard about that. So, and you know what else we said? They're going to start with the people on food stamps, healthcare people, people that are on the government assistant. Why? Because they've been trapping them for years.
Right.
You control all this help. They rely on the government. So they are into that trap. They're in the trap.
It's all about control.
They're in the trap. And it's really sad. It's sad that the government needs this much control to see who's in our country. Or, I'm not going to lie. I think that this country is going to be invaded as soon as the rapture happens. I truly believe Islam and every person that's invaded this country will be here to take over. And it's not anything pretty. 7 years of hell.
Right. No,
so
it's not a time right now that, I feel blessed, that God chose us to be part of this. But it's still very, very, concerning for all the people that will be left behind. So we hope at least you guys open your eyes and wake up for those that don't believe in Jesus. That, times are very significant right now. And like no other time before, and all the generations before us, have we ever had AI come in like this, and it's literally just growing so fast. Blowing up.
All right. Well, let me, I'm going to share this real quick.
Okay.
Microchips into people's hands, placing ID cards, credit cards, wallets, and keys.
You thought the digital ID in the UK was bad. Well, wait till you see what is going on in Sweden. They've taken it to the next step, and it's not a step forward, it's a step into a full-blown human programming. You see, they're selling this to the public as efficient. It replaces your credit cards, ID, transit pass, even your keys are all embedded into your flesh. And of course, they say it's for voluntary and safe, but just like every other control tool, they slowly roll it out to us.
Something, of course, that we have to watch for as we're moving this direction. Again, 2020, they were trying to do that. Agenda 2020, trying to set that in motion. Agenda 21, trying to get it in place back in 2020 when they did. Now they've moved to Agenda 2030. So if we resist and push back, then yeah, they can't go along with it. Just like, you know, God's word says, if my people turn from their wicked.
Oops, sorry.
But he has whatever they do, whatever they say, how they act, connected to some sort of system where you can be, you know, punished for what you do. And, you know, they try to make it seem whatever, like that's a good thing, and trying to step against or go against things that are bad, obviously, like children viewing adult content. But then what it ends up being is what we're seeing in the UK, arrested for sharing right-wing media. In Germany, people getting their doors kicked in at 4 o'clock in the morning for posting something against Hamas. It's kingdom to go to heaven. Do is look at history. I mean, every one of these cases, we can see that they've been abused in the past. What did we see with the NSA leaks? They were looking into people's cameras, looking into people's microphones, listening in, watching on this. Should have no access to our private information.
Rent a property, set up a bank account, check into a hotel, or prove you're over 18 to buy alcohol or attend an event.
But how can it trust you are who you say you are? Well, you'll need to take a selfie, which will be cross-checked against other forms of ID you've submitted. And when there's a match, you're good to go.
The technology will be opt-in and should be available later this year.
Yeah, when we get into thinking about the timeline of the Mark of the Beast, if we're here, then
I just want to show this real quick, because the reason why I'm showing this is because I honestly believe you had to do this all over the world first before America jumped on board. And we probably already were on board, but they had to have all the other players lined up. And they're lining up everywhere. UK, Sweden, Australia, Canada. This is Africa.
when we start to get into the rapture stuff, pre-rapture, people here who are, and again, it is.
Just put it blatantly to you. The program targets the birth of new babies. So once you have your baby, before your baby leaves the hospital, you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body.
So that is that video. You know, people keep saying that the digital ID is just digital, nothing's implanted. But I actually believe that it very well could be something implanted, even if it's digital. You know, they're whatever. You know, it's just like she said, it's digital, but yet something's going to be implanted in your body to make it digital. So to me, it's very concerning that this is the formation of the mark of the beast to get that chip, just like you were seeing in Sweden, that they were already getting it, over 6,000 people.
Yep. It's crazy.
And
they're testing the waters everywhere, you know, like you said, putting it out in different countries, testing the waters. And, you know, as more and more people become compliant with it, then, you know, it'd be like, oh, okay, everybody else is doing it, you know.
Right.
Sadly. So,
I mean, I don't know. It's just, you know, we're here, y'all. I mean, it's literally Revelation 13.
Pretty much. Yep. Playing right out.
Not forced yet on us, you know, but.
Yeah. Did you have anything else that you wanted to present on that? On
the digital IDs, not so much. I mean,
okay.
I'm going to show this one video and it's got lots of little clips, so it might somewhat talk about that. But as far as that part goes, no.
Okay. I'll just move on to the next topic then. And then, so something else that's recently come out is the Board of Peace. Okay. Now, you know, it's strangely correlates. You'll see here with this video that I'm going to play with Daniel's 10-horn prophecy. And let me go ahead and bring this.
Something real quick.
Yeah.
People be open-minded, because a lot of people see it one way only, like bricks. You know, they're the 10 kings. You know, for me, just be open-minded and explore what God, because we've gotten so many things wrong. You know, we're not perfect. We all learn and know, but as the days are going, so is our knowledge. So God is showing us puzzles of the pieces that we're getting connected together that we might have had wrong before. Just be open-minded.
Yeah, this is by no means are we saying for sure this is it, or that we're certain about anything really, because we're not. But it's just interesting, and like Cheryl said, keep an open mind. This video is like 2 minutes and 55 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and play that, and you guys can just, you know, see for yourself of what you think. You know, it's out there.
The Board of Peace is a board like no other. It will have the heads of major countries. I hope Your Highness will be on the board. You'll accept, I hope. But the Board of Peace will be something that's never even been thought of before. And it's covering Gaza, but it'll end up covering large portions of the world. There will never be a board like the board that we're going to be announcing. What's taking place in the Middle East is a miracle. They're just calling it a miracle, and we're going to make it a miracle, and we're very close to doing that.
Trump is unveiling something around December 15th called the Board of Peace. It's said to have 10 to 12 global leaders on the board.
Bigger.
If you know Bible prophecy, this should shake you. If it ends up being 10 members on the board, I believe Daniel called this 2,500 years ago. Daniel saw a final world system rising with 10 horns, 10 leaders, 10 rulers, all united under one global authority. Revelation 17 says those 10 kings are given authority for 1 hour, and then they give their power to the beast. 10 leaders, one agenda. If it ends up being 12 members, well, that number's not random either. In the Bible, the number 12 represented God's government. 12 tribes, 12 disciples, 12 foundations of the New Jerusalem. And the thing about it is Satan doesn't create, he counterfeits. A global technocratic 12 pretending to bring peace, while Revelation 6 describes a false peace that will fool the world. The world wants peace without the Prince of Peace, and the Bible says that's exactly how the end starts. Watch the numbers, watch the structures, watch the Bible unfold. God's clock is ticking.
Oh boy, this might be a little alarming, guys. So y'all know the 10 kings from Daniel who will have power over the earth, and this will be the whole beast system and things like that. Oh my gosh. Donald Trump is going to announce the phase 2 of the Gaza peace deal, and he's putting together a Board of Peace that will happen before Christmas or by Christmas of this year, where there will be approximately 10 heads of this board. Why the number 10? Why the number 10? Is it directly correlated to the book of Daniel? And we're talking about peace here. Oh my gosh, where are we headed, guys? If this is real, if this is true, then we know exactly where we stand, and we know that T could be the Aunt T. This is blowing my mind, because why is everything so symbolic? Like, or are they just playing in our faces? Has he read the Bible? Is he trying to mimic? I don't get it, because it's just playing right into the hands of the end times. What do you mean you're appointing approximately 10 people on the board for the Board of Peace for the Middle East? Yikes. Oh my boy. Where are we going, y'all? Where are we going?
So yeah. You know, I just wanted to bring that up. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
This is all the stuff that's happened just in the last 2 weeks, really. I mean, just in 2 weeks. Genesis Mission, the basic universal pay, the Board of Peace. This is all literally within the last 2 weeks. And they were actually
really quick.
Yeah. They actually did a thing today at 2 o'clock or something like that, around 2 or 3 o'clock, that they were interviewing Trump with all these executive company people, and they were talking about, but I didn't get a chance to listen. So more stuff came out about AI today.
Well, I think everything's just skyrocketing, and the birth pains like really, really pinging.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play my little thing real quick on the Board of Peace.
I'm gonna mute my microphones.
All right.
I'm not disturbing anybody with my background noise. My dog's crying.
Well, we all have lives, sis.
According to 2 U.S. officials in Western source direct.
Sorry, can you see it now? Is it on the screen?
I can see it, but you can, if you could turn the volume up, because once again, it's really low. I don't know if it's on your computer setting, but yeah.
Okay. All right.
Western source directly involved in the process. According to, again, this report, the fragile ceasefire in Gaza is the biggest foreign policy achievement of Trump's second term so far. And his administration wants to proceed the second phase to avoid sliding back into war. While the ceasefire has not broken down entirely, Israeli strikes have killed 300.
Notice right here, because it says unveil the new governance structure. I just wanted to point that out.
66 Palestinians, and Hamas attacks have killed several Israeli soldiers since it came into force on the 11th of October. One key element of phase one was the release of Hamas of all of live and deceased hostages is nearly complete. The remains of one deceased and business experience and are not
right here
will be December the 7th. If we push this out, again, he's hoping to get this out before Christmas. All of the different elements are pretty well advanced. It's all moving ahead. I'm going to highlight that too. It's all moving ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's all moving ahead. We're not talking about just the phase 2 month. To discuss the next phase of the have killed several Israeli soldiers since it came month. To discuss
a second. I'm going to get right here where it's talking about all the people. He gives a list of all the people and the 10 people. And for me, it's like
push this out. Again, he's hoping to get this out before Christmas. All of the different elements are pretty well advanced. It's all moving ahead. I'm going to highlight that too. It's all moving ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's all moving ahead. We're not talking about just the phase 2 of this peace process and this Gaza governance that's going to be instituted here by these leaders. But what is moving ahead is the prophetic timetable. We are moving ahead. We are advancing prophetically speaking. And that is why we've come together on this Sunday night to discuss these matters, because this is a major deal. All right. Sitting atop the governing structure, let's get into this governing structure, will be the Trump-led Board of Peace, which will include approximately 10 leaders. 10. We'll talk about the significance of this prophetically speaking in just a moment, from Arab and Western countries, according to the U.S. officials.
Now, do you know what I think of when I see that? Right there, that one statement. 10 leaders from Arab, and what I see, iron mixing with clay. Right there. Iron mixing with clay. Because you got the Prime Minister of where's it at? The UK Prime Minister, Tony Blair, the one that is
actually
make myself clear.
Actually, no, they fired him.
Oh,
they did, because I guess some of the people on this committee, this 10 joint people complained. They said that they will not make a deal, that he could not be part of it. So they actually let him go. So no, he's no longer, I heard that today. He's no longer ahead of that.
Well, either way, my point
Mhm.
is this. You're looking at Western leaders, and that includes Europe, America, Canada, Australia, all those. And then you got your Arab countries. And that's basically what I wanted to say right here is that iron is mixing with clay and it's not going to stick. I personally think that everything is lining up, and that's all I wanted to show on that was the 10 people. He goes really long into it, and you guys can watch him in Time Headlines. He goes deeper into it and all that, but it's basically the same thing that me and Tiny's talking about. This control system that's coming, and that, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Absolutely. It's crazy. Like I said, everything's just moving very fast. And also within this,
put your faith in Jesus. Sorry.
Absolutely. He's the only one that can save you. Gives you comfort and peace. And if you have him, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff, So another thing that's came out in the last, here recently, a couple days, is this AI race. They keep talking about they got to win this race. China is, will gain on them and be in control. And so they can't have that happen. So basically, Trump came on and said there was going to be this one rule executive order, basically. And what this does is for like 10 years, no states can have a say-so for how AI is being used in their states. He's using it at the federal, at the government level, basically. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys this video. It's from Hustle again, and it is 5 minutes. That's the longest one that I have left. And just give me a second here, but it's good. And it's just something that we should, one more thing to just think about all this stuff going on. I'm gonna go ahead and play it, guys.
The president just dropped a bombshell. He's going to strip state governments of their power to regulate AI. That means no more state-level oversight, no more local checks, and all of this is happening when we're about to get hit by 6G, a network designed to connect every device, every camera, every sensor, and even future implants into one system.
I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to say real quick, because when he talked about 6G, I did actually catch briefly while they do this big thing today at the White House with all these people. And he said, President Trump said, so 6G, yeah, it's here. And the guy's like, yeah, it's here. He's like, so it's just a matter of time. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's here. And he's like, I was just trying to get used to 5G or something like that. So yeah, they were just talking about that today in the White House. But anyway, I'll be quiet. I'll put you back on.
Wait. Didn't you watch the Rackmans with me and you both watched it the other day? But didn't he talk about that? And they're saying 6G wouldn't be here until 2030, which that's a lie. It's already here. I mean, in my opinion, it's here.
Yeah, because even Trump was like, then it'll be 7 after that, 7G. I mean, he's like, before this one just, well, basically, so yeah, I mean, they just talked about all that today. Like I said, I didn't get to watch it. I just caught some stuff briefly about it, but they did talk about 6G. So you guys might want to go back and look at some of the things that were talked about at the White House today. But yeah, I'll go ahead and continue.
And while the experts are screaming on top of their lungs about the upcoming threat, the legacy media and the people in power refuse to even acknowledge it. That's exactly why I'm going to expose all of it in this video and tell you what the hell they're doing behind the scenes. And we have to start with something President Trump said a couple of months ago during his visit to the UK.
So we're taking the next logical step with a historic agreement on science and technology partnerships, and this will create new government, academic, and private sector cooperation in areas such as AI, which is taking over the world. I'm looking at you guys. You're taking over the world, Jensen. I don't know what you're doing here. I hope you're right. All I can say is we both hope you're right. But it's pretty amazing. Quantum computing, fusion, 6G, and civil nuclear energy, and align our nations through the approach of centered deregulation and innovation. And we're going to have a lot of deregulation and a tremendous amount of innovation.
He was joking around like he always does, but did you notice how he suddenly looked almost nervous while talking to the NVIDIA CEO about their AI plans? What does he know about these grand AI plans that we don't? Now, his comments shook a lot of people because he wasn't just talking about AI. He was talking about bringing 6G to the country at a time when members of his own administration were still fighting the rollout of 5G.
They are putting in place all of these technological mechanisms for control we've never seen before. It's been the ambition of every totalitarian state from the beginning of mankind to control every aspect of behavior, of conduct, of thought, and to obliterate dissent. Within 5 years, we're going to see 415,000 low orbit satellites. Bill Gates says his 65,000 satellites alone will be able to look at every square inch of the planet 24 hours a day. They're putting in 5G to harvest our data and control our behavior. Digital currency that will allow them to punish us from a distance and cut off our food supply.
Back then, most people brushed it off. They assumed the president was talking big to attract investment, to boost America's image in the AI race. Just long-term ideas and nothing immediate. But now, those same people are stunned because President Trump is no longer hinting. He's openly saying he'll sign an executive order to stop states from regulating AI. No more independent state laws, just one rule from the federal government. And this isn't some sudden move either. This administration already tried to do it through the big, beautiful bill.
It's a terrible idea for the same reasons it's always been a terrible idea, Steve, which is to give these companies, these mega companies, multinationals, 10 years where they can do whatever the heck they want. And we all know what they're going to do. Here's what they'll do. They're going to come after everything that is yours, your name, your image, your likeness. They're going to take it. Anything you put out on the web, any of your pictures, any of your kids' pictures, your grandkids are going to take them. They're already doing it. And what are you getting compensated for it? Nothing.
At that time, 99 out of 100 senators voted against removing state authority. That was also the moment Marjorie Taylor Greene first broke ranks and accused President Trump and his administration of pushing for dangerous federal overreach in AI.
I had told the White House I couldn't vote for it. There's no way, because we get a vote again. Everybody needs to understand that it comes back to the House and we get to vote again. There's no way I can destroy state rights, and there's no way I can let AI have free reign and the potential destruction that it could have for 10 years without states being able to protect themselves and the people that live there and their jobs and their children. And it was too big of an issue to get me to a yes on. And I'm just thrilled. And 99-1. That does show you that there's some voices in the president's ear that are not telling him the truth.
As you can see, this isn't a partisan fight.
You're muted again.
Sorry, I'm not used to being muted. So basically, there's a bunch of stuff out there too with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I know her and Trump had it out, whatever, and whether you like her or you don't, whatever. The video was basically just pointing out that's very true.
Well, that was the first video she had said too that, hey, I've read the Bible. This was her own words. I read the Bible, and this was Revelation 13.
Yeah, I know how it plays out. Yeah. So whether you like her or not, she is speaking some truth. But anyway, that's what I had on that, sis. Do you have anything on that aspect of it, of the one rule executive order or anything like that?
No, mine's going to be just more a bunch of just different clips of, different things here.
Yeah. You're up.
I'm up. Okay.
The only thing left I have really to talk about is the Pete Hegseth thing, and that's only a minute video, so you can.
tech moguls. Now, let me give you a couple.
This is a little long, but I'll try to shorten it up if I can because we're getting a little late. So I'll try to shorten it if I can. I just want to get some
Other
points
people
out.
on the plate.
Yeah.
That would be Mark Zuckerberg. That would be Bill Gates. That would be Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the co-founders of Google. That would be Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, and on it goes. These guys hated Trump guts last time. And then right out of the gates, here comes these tech moguls. I just mentioned two of them with the Stargate program. And all of a sudden, they're licking Trump's boots. All of a sudden, they're best buddies. So on top of the AI decision, I'm going, what's going on here? I thought you hated this guy. And so that to me is going like, you're in this for something. You're in this for something. Now, not to get sidetracked, we're just about ready to produce the sequel to this, Trump and the Paradox Prophecies. And in that, I take a deep dive on these. They're not just tech moguls, Janie. They are transhumanists. And they are billionaire elites who are going to turn humans into non-humans. And they now have direct access, a ton of them, I call them all out, and to the White House, the most powerful place on the planet. And I'm concerned about that. And a little bit of this spills out, and we cover in Trump and the Stargate Prophecy, the AI section, by even Larry Ellison, again, the CEO of Oracle, who, by the way, is the second richest person on the planet. And I think it was about 3 weeks ago, he, for a brief period, actually eclipsed Elon Musk as the richest person, only for a few hours, and then Musk beat him back again. But that's Larry Ellison. These guys aren't just into tech. They're not just into AI. They're not just transhumanists. They're billionaire elitists. Again, we have this on tape. Is he freely admitted it's going to create a big brother society, even in America, that most people have no clue. And I'll just, let me quote to you just what we have transcribed. It's, you can see it on video if you get the DVDs. But he says, AI, he says, everybody's going to see everything. He said, and he's talking about police. He said, your body cams will be transmitting that. Listen, police will be on their best behavior because we will be constantly watching and recording what's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we'll be constantly watching, recording everything that's going on. Quote, it will be unimpeachable. Then he goes into, we won't even need police cars. Everything will be constantly monitored and tracked with drones. The drones will constantly be watching. There's no need for high-speed car chases. The drones will report everything. If there's a problem, quote, AI will report the problem, report it to the appropriate person, whether it's the sheriff or the chief or whomever that needs to take control of the situation. On tape, transcribed in the book. This is what this guy says they're going to do with this Stargate program, with the development of this AI on steroids, that first day in office. So now you're going like, well, okay, that's not only bad, that's not only a violation, especially of our American rights and freedom, but what's that got to do with prophecy? Everything. And I'll just dive into that real quick. People say, well, what does AI got to do with prophecy? Let me give you an Old Testament passage and a New Testament passage. Old Testament is Daniel chapter 12, 2,600-year-old prophecy. Daniel, at the end, he's talking about the 70th week's prophecy, that basically you're going to see the return of Christ wrapping up until we have the millennial kingdom. And there'll be one final seven, what we call the 7-year tribulation, right? But he gives us two signs to indicate you're getting close to what God calls the end of days, right? And he says, number one, people are going to be traveling to and fro like never before. Does that happen? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get the privilege of traveling all over the planet. And believe it or not, I don't use the donkey, right? We take it for granted. I can go anywhere on the planet. You can go anywhere on the planet. Piece of cake, book your ticket. I don't even need a travel agent anymore. I can do it all on my phone. That's a sign that we're in the end of days. 2,600-year-old prophecy. But keep reading.
The government is banning this $29 AI dog next month, and this is your last shot to get the original lifelike version.
He says, and there will be an increase of knowledge. Now, that's rabbah in the Hebrew, which means a spiraling out of control and multiplication factor, just growing. Well, that's AI. And because AI, the danger of AI is it's an information, but it's information that learns. And it learns to improve itself. And so that AI or information improves on itself, and then that version of the improved AI improves on that version of itself, and then that improved version for itself, and then it spirals out of control. Rabbah, exactly what the Hebrew says. Now watch this. The secularists have a term for that. God calls it end of days. They call it singularity. And singularity is when AI develops out of control. That, listen, they says AI, the machines will take over and the human era is ended. So even they see it's going to lead to a bad scenario. They just don't use God's term. God calls it end of days. They call it singular.
All right. That's just a part of the AI takeover part that I wanted to show you. And then let me go over here to 28 minutes.
And I bring this out in great detail, especially in our next documentary. But I've already dealt with Bill Gates. I took a deep dive on him in our previous documentary, Global Elites and the Antichrist. As you can see there, Bill Gates, also known rightly so as Bill Gates, is the last guy that you want to be friends with. Last guy you want to be friends with. And so that was another red flag. I'm going, whoa, wait a second. What is Trump doing meeting with Bill Gates? What in the world is Trump meeting with him? And then he did it again in the White House with the rest of these tech guys. The last person you want to chum up with is Bill Gates, because he's got a nefarious agenda. He does, right?
Bill, would you like to say a few words? I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health, in areas like vaccines or gene editing. And the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone.
And so again, all these red flags are going off. It's like, what? And then I'm sitting here going like, Trump's supposed to be surrounded by spiritual advisors, right? And I'm going, where are these people at?
I'm just trying to show here people the Stargate stuff again, because I don't want people to forget that it's all connected. This is all connected together. The Stargate, the Genesis mission.
Absolutely.
This is just little
everything.
Clips of it.
Is a couple reasons. Number one, to kind of go back to the control aspect, and they want to annihilate most of the planet. But these guys are elitists. They like their jets. They like their mansions. They like their lavish lifestyle. Well, wait a second. If you get rid of humans all the way down to 500 million, who's going to serve you, Mr. Elite? Right? Robots, AI. So they're still going to have their lavish, this is their plan. I think God's going to obviously put a stop to it. But this is their mindset, Janie. This is in whom we have to deal with. These tech mogul global elites and these other critters and working for Satan. And they are creating a robot society to replace all these humans that they plan on getting rid of. Now, let's describe that procedure in just what you're talking about, the medical industry. We got warmed up to this, getting rid of the human element in medical care during the pandemic, because you couldn't go, but hey, you could get your tablet out and have a chat bot help you through the process or whatever. You don't have to physically be there. And so we got conditioned to remove that personal experience. But again, as you rightly stated, this has been going on for a long time, step by.
This is the doctor part where it goes in to show you that doctors and nurses are now running the hospitals, or, slowly going in there. Robots taking over. And then let's just skip right here to 48. And this is about RFK. I believe he's going to talk about. I'm almost done.
Catherine Austin Fitts, she's done a great job exposing. And she worked as far back as the Bush administration. So she's been involved with these guys for a long time. She knows what they're up to. And she's one of the faithful few that's out there blowing the whistle as well. And she admits, she says, I was like everybody else. I thought when RFK was going to get in, he's going to turn back the pandemic baloney. He's going to get rid of the mRNA technology that's hurting people, genetically altering people. He's on our side. And to use her term, she said, it turns out, unfortunately, he's a Judas goat. And then she goes on to describe, for those of you that weren't raised on a farm, what is a Judas goat? Well, a Judas goat is a goat that is trained to lead the sheep through the pen into the slaughterhouse. They followed this goat. And then just before they go to the left to the slaughter, the Judas goat alone gets them to the very end, leads them to the end, and then he gets off to the right. His whole job is to lead people to the slaughter. She said, her words, not mine, that's what RFK is. If you do the research, and I did, more mRNA vaccines have been approved since he's been in office than the whole time Biden was in office. Larry Ellison, I just quoted you, said they're going to not just make mRNA vaccines, they're going to be able to develop it in 48 hours, which makes Operation Warp Speed look like child's play. 48 hours. So if you think they're going to get rid of this technology, it just went on steroids. We got all the goods, man. It's on tape. Hey, I get it. It's going to upset your vacation. Okay, but can we deal with this? This is serious stuff.
It is, absolutely. And you also had brought up, I heard you talk about this, that RFK Jr. wants to push everyone in 4 years to wear wearables. Now, well, I heard you. Yeah. Okay. So I heard you say that. And then all of a sudden I'm on X. I'm on X and I got to read this. It was an advertisement. And of course, they always make it look so good.
Yeah.
Meet the AI-powered wearable over 1.2 million users rely on, and it's a certain company, continuously scans your biomarkers, catches health issues early, and guides you to smarter choices for a longer life. The website, and then it leads you to this website, and it's just like, it's like trying to sell it like, oh my gosh, I've got to have this.
Yeah.
And it says, listen to these three things: recovery and cellular repair and chronic illness detection. And it's going to add years to your life. And this is the thing that RFK Jr. wants everyone to have these wearables, but look how they're selling it. Like, oh my gosh, I got to have one.
Yeah, exactly. And again, that's called a Judas goat. He knows what he's doing. He knows where this is headed. He's not only not getting rid of the mRNA vaccines, and which, by the way, he's still supporting the COVID shots. Do that.
All right. And one more thing, and then I'm done. And this is about, I believe, like the police state.
With Palantir, co-founded by longtime Trump backer Peter Thiel, for assistance in compiling a database of personal information on American citizens. Palantir has partnered with the U.S. government in the past, but has expanded its work with Trump administration, raising concerns of surveillance of Americans on a mass scale, leading to an authoritative, I can't say it. Oh my goodness, I got to say this again. Well, say the word. Authoritarian state.
Yeah.
Like China's social credit system. Okay, so that was a New York Times article. But again, Palantir, that is like data analysis that's analyzing all of our information and everything. But I mean, he backed Trump, and Peter Thiel also backed J.D. Vance. I mean, he's the one who basically financed him. By the way, he also started Charlie Kirk too. I'm just saying, I'm not going to go into anything like that, but it's just very interesting, Peter Thiel's influence. So what do you say to that as far as Peter Thiel and his influence? And also, again, with all the data analysis and then all of these AI data centers on steroids in 2026.
Right. Well, again, trace the trail, right? You mentioned the data centers. Well, what is it that's going to be controlling the data centers? AI. What are they going to do when AI controls these data centers? It's going to create profiles on people. It's going to monitor people. It's going to put us in little boxes, and it's leading to what's called predictive policing. This, if you want to go watch a movie, I'm not, I don't know what the rating is. If it's a bad rating, don't blame me. But there's a movie back in the day called Minority Report with Tom Cruise. And the premise of that science fiction movie that we thought was for entertainment
Predictive program.
was it got to the point where they could have what was called a pre-crime unit, right? The pre-crime unit, because everybody was being monitored and cataloged and built these databases on people. They knew everything about you. They knew you better than you, your habits, your behavior, whatever. The pre-crime unit predicted the crime before it ever happened. And that was the authoritarian system that Cruz was a part of, that they would go and arrest people before they committed a crime. Because AI predicted, or, the system predicted that they were going to do it. Yeah, but they haven't done it yet. But AI said, that's the term that's being launched now. Palantir is one of them, but they call it, and do the math, do the research. I'll give you a buzzword: predictive policing. That's the term. They don't call it pre-crime because that's too close to the movie. Predictive policing. And Janie, that's already being launched. It's already happened in the UK. It's already happened here in the United States of America. They launched an AI predictive crime, pre-crime system to predict people's behavior, to go get them before they did it. It was called Laser. They had already launched it in Los Angeles. Did you know that? Did the people of LA know that? And so they're already using that to build that system to go get people who commit crimes. But then the thing is, like, well, who determines what's a crime? What if being a Christian is a crime? Right? Or they could just make something up. Well, AI said you're about ready to rob that bank. I've never robbed a bank in my life, but it said so. You're arrested. This is the system that they're building. Now, Teal is a part of that. Palantir is one of the big brother systems that's being built, hate to burst your bubble, even here in the United States.
Here's what nobody's telling you about the new bearskin hoodie. This fleece is thick. It's made from 340 GSM of bearskin fleece.
How creepy that, they're putting these cameras up and reading your facial expressions and your movements. And I mean, just craziness. And, we've seen that video of Sling and Stone where in the UK it had, warning, this is a read your thought thing. I mean, it's really creepy, and it always makes me wonder, what have they put in our body that helps them read us? It makes me wonder stuff like that. It really does.
Yeah, it's all crazy. And it's just all really so fast. So fast. You can see AI just being implemented everywhere in every sector. With that being said, I've got one more little short video, sis. It's about the Pete Hegseth Department of War. He's the Department of War. And he put out a video, I think it was yesterday. And basically, so this is just going to show you, how AI is going to be now, in the Department of War. Just one second here. Let me play this.
The future of American warfare is here, and it's spelled AI. As technologies advance, so do our adversaries. But here at the War Department, we are not sitting idly by. Under the leadership of President Trump, America will lead the charge on this technological transformation by revolutionizing the way we win. And that's why today we are unleashing GenAI.mil. This platform puts the world's most powerful frontier AI models, starting with Google Gemini, directly into the hands of every American warrior. At the click of a button, AI models on GenAI can be utilized to conduct deep research, format documents, and even analyze video or imagery at unprecedented speed. Building on the great work of Undersecretary Emil Michael and his team, we will continue to aggressively field the world's best technology to make our fighting force more lethal than ever before.
Goodness.
Anyway, I just wanted to do that real quick. Yeah, I mean, so you can see it's in everything. It's in everything. And he just put that out yesterday. So all the stuff that we're talking about, you guys, the Genesis mission, the, Agenda 2030, the universal income for everyone, the Board of Peace, the one rule executive order for the AI race that no states are allowed to be involved. And then this now Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, you can see how all this stuff is unfolding so very quickly.
All the Stargate stuff, which that's got so much involved in that, the surveillance and the RNAs. And
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just here. Like Janie Duvall saying, and that was Janie Duvall, by the way, her YouTube channel. Yeah. They're going to sell it so nice until it's not going to be, until it's going to be forced upon you.
Yeah. It'll be sold in the name of convenience.
Yep. And, right now, just like the Bible says, people will line up for it. Why? Because they love it. They love technology. They love, AI. If people could, they'd say, oh yeah, I would live forever, but you will with Jesus, but you won't if you don't have Jesus.
Amen. Amen, sis. And real quick, while we're speaking about AI, I wanted to show something as far as AI that is good. I'm not gonna play anything. I'm just gonna share the YouTube channel. So this is an instance where AI is being used for good. This website is called, or not website, but YouTube channel is called Childlike Media, and they are putting out a video every Sunday, basically explaining the Bible, starting from Genesis and going to Revelation. Right now, they are pausing their normal thing because they're doing a Christmas thing for the next till after Christmas, but very realistic videos, very nice, explains the Bible. It's great to share with all family members because it's just teachings out of the Bible, and they basically bring them to life. So if you're going to use AI, this is a good way to implement it, so anyway, just wanted to share that. And do you have anything else to add, sis?
I sure do, and I'm gonna get it right now.
Get saved
right here.
So yeah, if you don't know Jesus,
yes. I'm sorry, sis. You were talking, and I interrupted again. Me too.
Go ahead.
If you don't know Jesus, today's the day to do it, because time is really running out. And the reason why we say that is because the church will be raptured out before the 7-year tribulation, for Daniel's 70th week, called Jacob's trouble. The church is not here. We're not here for God's wrath. So I want you to find hope and peace in just knowing that this is not for us. And it really irritates me, people, that post-tribbers want to put us in the same category as unbelievers. It just absolutely blows my mind. We're not the same. We used to be that way, but God made us new, and we're not the same as unbelievers. But anyways, moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I have preached unto you, which you have received, and wherein you stand, by which you are saved, if you keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless you have believed in vain. For I delivered unto you first of all, which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and he rose again the third day according to the scriptures. And if you believe that and believe with your heart, you will be saved. God is so loving, so merciful, long-suffering, and he came for all. I mean, he came for the brokenhearted. He came for the poor, the rich, the murderers, the thieves, everyone. He came for all. And it's so important now that you see that he speaks truth and love. And if you don't know him and you reject him, you will end up in this society that they will control you. And I just say, open the Bibles and read and get close to God. Now is the time. What do you have to say, sis?
Yeah, just that, Jesus doesn't want anyone to perish. He wants all people to come to know him. And it really is just, asking him into your heart, believing what he did for you. He sheds perfect blood for you. And if you'll take the time to get to know him, He wants a relationship with you, and basically you will, all this crazy stuff with AI and all this stuff unfolding, we are at peace because ultimately we know that we have Jesus, that we are in Jesus. Jesus is in us, and we know where we're going to be eventually. We've got a forever home, and it ain't here. So with that being said, did you have anything else to add, sis? I know we're running kind of.
No, that's it. Just you guys be prepared and just steadfast, and just know that Jesus is coming soon, and we see it all lining up. We don't fear. Like, I don't fear for this. I fear for the people that are going to be left, because they're asleep and they're not paying attention, and they obviously don't have their faith in Jesus if they are left. And I'm just praying that you guys pick Jesus today. Pick him as your Lord and Savior and get saved. It's such a free gift. It's easy. It's what Jesus did for you and me. He shed his blood for our sins. He took our place,
Yep. Amen. So hopefully you guys will come to him today. And we hope that we had shed some light, at least, of all this AI stuff and some truth, at least. But anyway, until next time, you guys, keep looking up.